They told me Nigeria was dangerous. They told me it was poverty, chaos.
So dangerous. There's no road markings, there's no street lights, and there's very few road signs.
Somewhere you go from and not to. So I booked a flight to find out for myself. This is what £100 a night gets you in Lagos. And that was just the beginning. Over the next 7 days, I ran my UK business from the other side of the world. Got treated like royalty in places I was told to be scared of. I sat down with local business owners to find out how people actually stay profitable in an economy where most live in poverty. And I hit the markets with the locals for a full-on masterclass in Nigerian hustle. I travelled out to Oshogbo where a conversation about renting property completely changed how I think about being a landlord. And then I pulled up to this. 4 bedrooms, bulletproof doors.
Because anything could go wrong.
So if you ever wondered if building wealth in Africa is actually worth it, make sure you stay till the end, because what I'm about to show you, social media won't. Lagos, a city most people only know through headlines. But over the next few days, I'm going to show you a side of Nigeria you don't see online. The hotels, the hustle, the businesses, the property game. And the question on my mind the whole trip, can you actually build wealth out here? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Lagos, baby. How much is this? This is like what? $100 a night? That's what £100 a night gets you in Lagos, man. For those who think Nigeria's full of dirt, disgusting stuff, you ain't been to the right places, man. Don't believe everything that you see online.
Now, even on holiday, business doesn't stop. Back home in the UK, one of my mentees is about to close on her first Airbnb in Birmingham. And before she signs anything, I need to run the numbers myself. Welcome to the life of a remote entrepreneur.
Life of an entrepreneur never stops. Right now, I've got a mentee who should be taking on a new deal in Birmingham, but before she takes on a deal, I want to just quickly check the numbers and just make sure that deal makes sense. On an Airbnb app, it's going to be her first property. The last thing I want is somebody taking on a deal that I don't think is going to be profitable throughout the whole year. So when I'm going on Airbnb, I literally like to do like for like the searches. If it's a 3 bed, I'm looking for a 3 bed. If it's a 2 bed, I'm looking for a 2 bed. I'm not looking for a 1 bed or anything else. I'm looking for literally like for like. In this specific area, nightly rate is 124. 124, that's not too bad. There's a lot of 2-bed apartments, and that's the thing, in areas like Birmingham, there's so many apartments. So if you want to think outside the box, you got to maybe try and get some houses. I know that they'll definitely attract some contractors. This person's doing very well, to be honest, and it's pretty much always booked. So it just shows this is a good area. So for my thinking, if she does it right, she's gonna do well. Thank you. So from my analysis, this is a deal worth taking. As you can see, whilst I'm waiting for my food, the work don't stop, man. But I guess this is what happens when you have a business and it's remote. Like, even if you're not physically there, you still need to obviously put in the work. So we've been here over 24 hours and I'm impressed. Social media, online TV, it doesn't really show. Obviously there are some areas where people are struggling, some people are living in poverty, but it's not everywhere. I guess when you're a tourist and you appear to have money, like they treat, how you doing, brother? You okay? You did good. They treat you nice. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, it's packed enough, but it's calm. But like the way they treat you as a tourist is nice. Yeah, man, it kind of reminds me of Dubai. Actually, I'll take it back. It doesn't remind me of Dubai. I think regardless, it shows you a different side of Nigeria. So hopefully, on this video, I might open some people's minds to actually show them that Africa's not that bad.
Next stop, a small shopping mall in the city. I ended up speaking to one of the business owners here, and what she told me about marketing, customer behavior, and how businesses actually survive in this economy completely shifted how I think about doing business in Nigeria.
Right now, we're just in a little shopping mall. Sometimes I think to myself, how do businesses like this stay profitable? Because when you look at the economy in Nigeria, I think the percentage is 60 to 70% of Nigerian population, they live in poverty. What's your biggest clientele? Is it tourists? Is it people in Nigeria? So it's mainly tourists, okay? And how do you market yourself? Is it TikTok, word of mouth? What's your biggest form of marketing?
Normally, I think most of we don't normally use TikTok.
You don't normally use TikTok?
No.
Okay, Instagram, okay. And is this seasonal, or is throughout the year that people are consistently coming to the shop?
Most people normally come consistently.
When?
They normally come, not.
Oh, so it's frequently people, okay. Speaking to that lady, man, I found it super interesting. How much everybody earns per capita is super low. For Nigeria, it's about $800 in a whole year. So really, when you think about it, people don't have much. But the reason why this business stays profitable is simply because they rely on tourists. Companies like Nestle, Airtel, phone networks, what they actually do is, because there are so many people in Nigeria, they actually price their product super low to make it more affordable. In the UK, I feel like you can get away with pricing things super high, because again, people can afford that. But in Nigeria, it's not the same case. You got to price things super cheaply and focus more on doing it at bulk rather than doing smaller items at mass profit. So it's all about volume.
Then we met David. David is a local, knows the market, knows the prices, and most importantly, he knows how not to get ripped off as a foreigner. He took us shopping, and what followed was a full-on masterclass in Nigerian negotiation. Watch this.
David, make sure they don't try and rip me off.
Yeah, that's it. I took very good for
Yeah,
cheaper price.
yeah. You need to know the right people, man. Get yourself a bat. Man, you need to know the right people here, man. Okay, this is nice. As you paint this yourself?
Yeah, I painted this one, but it's not.
Okay. That's good, that's very nice. Each one is 5K. No. It's okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. Babe, put it down. Huh? What's the actual price?
I didn't give you high price. I'm starting for 5K. Like say I
What's local price? Two for 5K is okay. Ha, 8.
for both of them.
2 for 6 last. 2 for 6 last.
7.
Okay, let's go, baby. Let's go for somewhere else. 2 for 6. Okay, let's go. You got the thing? Let me get my thing. Hold on. Sorry.
Sorry, excuse me.
Babe, excuse.
How to make me shimo too? Where you get your hair ready? How long is it?
Like 4 hours.
How many people? 4 people. 4 people. What's the name of the place?
Been a successful trip, man. Enjoyable trip. Man, when you're foreign, everybody can spot you from a mile away, man. No matter how much you think you blend in.
I'll just take this because
No, not really. How much is it? 20? How much is it? Can you do 20?
Let's do 22.
Okay, 22. Okay, hold on. One thing about this Nigerian community, man, everyone's a hustler, man. I think that's why I've been hustling since I've been born. From my mother's womb, I knew I was a hustler, man. And I think it's just in our Nigerian DNA, man. As much as we like to try and haggle, man, I think it's also important to recognize people for what they're doing. The money may not mean a lot to us, but in Nigeria, it's a lot to them, man. It's a lot to them. Brother, bless you, man. Thank you, man. Bless you, brother. Take care.
From Lagos, we headed out to Osogbo, a town a world away from the city. Slower pace, smaller streets, a completely different rhythm. And it's here that I had one of the most eye-opening conversations of the trip about renting property in Nigeria and how landlords actually deal with tenants who don't pay. Trust me, you're not ready for this.
This is village life in Nigeria. And honestly, man, it's still not as bad. I think there's still a mad difference between village life in Nigeria. I'm in the wonderful town of Osogbo. It's different to Lagos, I can't lie. Some of these houses are even still pretty decent, but there's still a clear difference, man. And I think for those who are newly coming into Nigeria, I can imagine why they probably want to stay in Lagos rather than coming to these smaller villages. Because obviously things like electricity could just turn off at any moment. You know, it's interesting though, because I was speaking to a family member of mine because they were basically saying that they have one of these compounds essentially and they rent it out to a tenant. So obviously I was thinking, if you rent it out to a tenant, what happens if the tenant don't pay? If people choose not to pay, like, what are you gonna do? But then they're saying all they have to do is call the police. Call the police, pay the police, and the tenants are out of the house. That makes me think it's probably easier renting a house here to a tenant than it is in the UK. The fact that you can actually pay your police to get someone out of the property, that is just mad. That is mad. Because in the UK, I'm currently going through a court process, but I'm trying to get someone out of the house for not paying rent. With the new legislation that's happening right now, you're gonna have to get probably 6 or 7 months before a tenant gets out of the property. But here, in the beautiful town of Osogbo, you pay the police, they're out the same day. I guess it's good and bad. Being able to pay authorities, it has its pros and its cons. So you can get whatever you want done ASAP. But also at the same time, so can other people, man. To places like this, it makes you realise that money talks. I think £50 is like the equivalent of 100,000 naira. Like £50 in the UK, that's basically nothing. So it really just shows you that when you're making money in the UK and you're able to come to towns like this, your money can stretch. And this is why I understand why people with money, once they get a certain level of money, this is why they come back home. This is why they come back and they invest in Africa, because it allows their money to stretch in other places. And I think that's the goal, man. I think when you're making enough money, your business is running smoothly abroad, UK, USA, whatever it is, and you're able to put your money back here, you're onto a winner, man. You're onto a winner. But I also think it's important to have people on deck as well. If you leave it to your own devices, people try to rip you off, man. My family have been building a home probably about 7 years, but we had to have a trusted person on ground, or else the whole thing could have gone left. The house that they built, like, in all honesty, to me, I didn't necessarily see it as something that I really cared about, if I'm honest, because I was like, am I really going to stay there? But the more I come home and the more I speak to people who, you know, who have land or own properties in Nigeria, honestly, once you own it, man. You know, so I think that's something that we'll definitely consider more of in the future, man. But again, it just depends on the location. I think it's super humbling to always come back to where you're from. A lot of people are African, whether you're from Nigeria, Ghana, whatever, and you're based in the UK, but you actually don't even go home. You don't even know what back home looks like. And I think it's super important for people to never forget their roots. You know, because I think once you're in the UK for a while, it's so easy to just get accustomed to the UK life. But there's something about coming back home and being around your people that it's just so different.
Now, before I left, there was one last thing I had to show you. My family's been building a property here for the last 7 years. 4 bedrooms, a separate studio, sat in a private estate on a hill. Total spend around £200,000. You see, in London, that gets you a studio. But here, it gets you this. Take a look.
200 bags. Spend that in London, get a corner plot, little 1-bedroom studio. Welcome to my crib. So right now, this is the house tour of Nigerian mansion. We're gonna go around the side entrance. We can go around the front, but it's locked. But come through, come through. So overall, the total cost of this whole project was around £200,000. Obviously, when you compare it to the UK, how much you spend, £200,000, that'll probably get you like a 1-bed flat. So we'll go inside after. First, I wanna show you the 1-bed apartment. And this whole thing, it had a lot of issues, specifically because when you look down, you can see, if you turn the camera around, you can see that it's like on a hill. So that was obviously one of the biggest issues, and there was a lot of time spent on the foundations. I think it's called like German foundations or something like that. There was a lot of time and money spent on getting the foundations right, because obviously it's built on a hill. Yeah, so it's a 4-bedroom mansion, and then there is a separate studio, which is through here. Come through. All these doors, where's the lights? Why's the light not working? Oh, it's making me look bad. This is the extra studio room. Kitchen there, little kitchen there. And we've got a bathroom there, bathroom stroke shower room there. Listen, this doesn't give the full picture, and this is just a little teaser. The main action is inside the house. Let me lock the door.
But building in Nigeria isn't as simple as wiring money over and hoping for the best. There's a process, there's politics, and there's people you absolutely need on the ground. Like Brother Laulu, who runs security across the whole compound while we're abroad. Here's what most people don't tell you about building out here.
I think a lot of people often talk about like building in Africa, building in Ghana, whatever, Nigeria. But I think there's so many things that you actually need to consider when you actually want to do that, such as who is the person that's going to be on ground. Because one thing you're going to realize is that there is a lot of people that the moment they start sending money abroad, people start taking advantage. And that's one of the hardest things about building in Africa, is that you always need somebody who's going to be on ground. Yes, boss, we locked it. Show him. Show him. Yeah, we've locked it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's Brother Laulu. He's basically like the gate man. So he obviously patrols everything. Obviously we're abroad. Like many people here in this compound, in this private estate, they're abroad. So people often have gate men to kind of monitor everything and obviously keep everything in check. They're basically like the eyes and ears of the property. Show the water tank. That thing's expensive. I can't remember how much that water tank was, but that water tank is expensive. Let's go through. We're gonna go through the kitchen. Then I'm gonna show you the first floor. Then I'm gonna show you the rest of the house. Let's go through. This is the kitchen. Look how high the cupboards are. So we're gonna show the main lounge after. But first, let's look what else is downstairs. Obviously right here, it's basically like the storage room, extra storage. There's a lot of space here. One thing I like about here is that the highest ceilings are just so high. Cool, then we go here. This is the first bedroom. This is the downstairs bedroom. Ensuite, every single room is ensuite. What I love about this light is that it's always changing. It's always changing depending on what mood you're in. If you're feeling a bit naughty, you can have the red mood. Look at that. Depends if you're feeling naughty. Cupboards are not too high here. When we go upstairs, you're gonna see it. Then obviously the bathroom. Every single room is ensuite, and I think it's super nice. And obviously we're based in the UK, so we're not really going to be coming here as much. I think next time all of us are probably gonna come here together as Christmas, which is quite nice. But yeah, we'll show the lounge quickly and then we'll go upstairs. Quite nice. Obviously dad and uncles are watching TV. Got a nice generator. As we come through, this is like the little dining area. And one thing I like about this part, as we got the stairs, it's all super sensitive. What do you call it? Light sensitive. I can't remember what it's called. As we go up, the light turns on. The only thing is, obviously here, there's no mortgage. So you're gonna have to pay full cash for this whole house. But come through, this is my favorite part. So this is the living room, but the nicest feature about this living room for me is the balcony. Having a nice balcony that overviews the whole compound. Look at this. Look at this view. Fantastic. This whole compound here is privately owned, so there's that gate to entrance that literally protects all of this house. And a lot of the owners of these houses, they're all abroad, whether it's Canada, whether it's USA, whether it's the UK. So when it comes to safety, you have that level of safety, like you feel proper secure. And I think that's one of the things about building houses in Africa, is that you need to make sure that it's safe and secure, especially when you're not here. Because if you're not here and people know that you're not here, bro, there'll be squatters in the house, man. But yeah, man, I think the beautiful thing about this is obviously feel safe and secure. The negatives about this is the outside of the roads. The roads are not fully done yet. Because this land is privately owned, every single person who owns a house here, they need to all contribute in order to sort out the roads. And obviously people are just being a bit difficult. But yeah, solar panels. I can't remember how many solar panels we have in total. But yeah, obviously solar paneled, 16. Yeah, so 16 solar panels obviously makes most sense, energy efficient. So cool, let's see the rest of the house. Oh yeah, and these doors, this is another expensive feature. Bulletproof. When you're in Nigeria, you need to have bulletproof doors because anything could go wrong. And this is what we call the master bedroom. This is the master bedroom. Listen, don't mind the wig, sorry. Don't mind the wig. But yeah, this is the master bedroom. Got the Gucci bedding. Listen, in the UK, this alone is like some people's studio. In the UK, some people are spending like £800-900 in London for a little studio. This is a little bedroom. Nice Gucci bedding, nice sofa, everything, flat screen TV, ensuite. The cupboards, listen, I'm not the tallest of guys, and in all honesty, even with a chair, I don't think I'm reaching that. But it's the thought that counts, innit? The fact that it's there. But really, truly, nobody's ever gonna use it because it's way too high. Look at me. Even if I jump, it's ridiculous, man. I have to fully jump to open it. Yeah. Look at the size of this bathroom. This bathroom is some people's rooms in the UK. Look at this. Look at this. This is some people's rooms in the UK. In fact, when I first rented a room in the UK, I'm sure it was like from here to here. I know there were certain people, could be two people's rooms in the UK. But again, it's a bathroom in Nigeria. A lot of space, a lot of land. And now 2 more bedrooms. Go to this one first. This one's a calm little one. Again, all the lights, they change depending on your mood. And every single room has an ensuite. Nice little ensuite, the showers, gold showers. The nice Burberry sheets. I call this Burberry room, the other room is Gucci room. But yeah, literally, lights change depending on your mood, man. Oops, yeah, depending how you're feeling. I think overall, man, I think building and buying in Africa, I think it makes sense. But I just think it depends on what stage you're at in your life. I think too many people are just too quick to do it. And I think you need to be strategic as well. Like, if you're somebody you don't have no plans to be coming back and forth to Africa, then in my humble opinion, I think it's almost pointless. If you're somebody that you have ideas to be coming back and forth, then cool, it makes sense. And obviously future generations, it makes sense. But I know there's a lot of people, their family bought land or whatever, and they have no intention to obviously come back home. So I think that's something that everyone needs to think. But overall, I can't lie, this wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do myself. My family obviously was so hesitant on doing it. But as I got older, I actually saw the importance of doing it. And I think the way I'm looking at life in the UK, honestly, man, it seems like every single person wants to leave the UK. And the more people I speak to, whether they're from the Caribbean, whether they're from other countries, a lot of people are actually trying to move to Africa. So it only makes sense actually having a home in Africa. And again, like, you bought the house outright, so it's completely different to the UK. And obviously when you actually compare how much you spend in Africa to how much you spend in the UK, I genuinely do think it makes sense. And obviously when I was younger, I thought there's no chance I'll ever bring kids here. But obviously coming to Nigeria, spending more time here, you do actually begin to love the culture, man. So I do think it's important, man. And yeah, man, this is literally the end of the property tour. Yeah, £200,000 spent. Was it value for money? I'll say 100% yes, it was, especially when you compare it to the UK, man.
So after a week on the ground, the markets, the meetings, the mansion, what's the verdict? Is building in Africa actually worth it? Or is it just a status play? Here's where I landed.
Finally back in the UK, and honestly, I can't lie, man. I miss Nigeria. I didn't think I'd ever say this, man, but I genuinely feel like I do miss Nigeria. Already, I'm seeing how much you actually save by being in Africa. That is crazy.
Like, it finally hit me, yeah, what the cost of living crisis is about and why so many people are talking about relocating to Africa. Like, I never used to get it. Like, I always used to think to myself, why did everyone say they want to move back to Africa? Like, surely like, you're going to get a better life in the UK or whatever. But honestly, I genuinely get it. That the pace of life just felt slower. And I feel like if you're somebody that's making money abroad and you then come to Africa, I feel like you're just going to enjoy life differently, man. Honestly, I can't lie, man. This trip really opened my eyes. I've been to Nigeria a few times, been to different places in Africa, but this trip really opened my eyes. And I can't lie, I could see myself going there like for months. Yeah, I can't lie, I can see myself going there for months. I think one thing that I definitely did notice, I see the hustle culture is different in Nigeria. Like, and it makes me understand why some people who come from Nigeria, Ghana, whatever, and they come to the UK, why they're so hungry to make money, why they're so hungry to make things happen. Because back home, that's all they know is hunger. You see people at 11 p.m. at night, they'll be in the middle of the road trying to sell peanuts. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then there's people in the UK, they don't have that hunger. And there's still that many people that are gonna say, go back to your country, this, that. But you actually see people who are coming from abroad to the UK, the hunger they have to make things happen. Honestly, it's mad inspiring, and I think there's a lot that people can really take from the people that come from abroad, man. You know, so even me, myself, the hunger that people have, you know, really instilled me in my own business. Don't lose that hunger. But yeah, man, I can't lie. Honestly, man, it's Africa's home, man. I never thought I'd say this, but Africa's home. You think I'm crazy, innit? If you're watching this year and your heritage is African, I encourage you, go back. Trust me, go back. Go back and visit it, experience it, man. I take back what I said in terms of I can never see myself living there, man. I can definitely see myself staying there for long periods of time, man, but it's beautiful, man. But yeah, appreciate you getting to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed the vlog. As always, make sure you like, comment and subscribe.